Sure, how she cut, ladies and gentlemen, top of the morning, top of the morning. And it is now 7:45 a.m. And it's Saturday morning, October the... But anyway, enough of my old crack. Guys and girls, how she cutting this morning? There's a new range of food getting brought out by Aldi now this winter, that's right, it's coming out there on the shelves. Hence they say get the grub in ya. Well, that's what it is. Yummy grub rub. Something along them lines. So basically, the powers that be now want your children. I mean, you know it's hard enough to get your children to eat vegetables, but the powers that be now want your children to start eating bugs. That's right. They want them to eat the likes of crickets and grasshoppers and spiders and worms and ladybirds and butterflies and mealworms and maggots. That's right, all local produce. All local produce too, by the way. That's right, because with the food shortages come, oh yeah? And something tells me you're going to need a lot of bog roll. So remember when there was a big rush on getting bog roll before? Well, there'll be a bigger rush on for it now. Right, so lads, here's some of the bug food that they want your children to eat, right? Just give a little look through here now. There's a burger made of insect-based insects, a lot of insects basically, right? There's some mealworms for your children they want to eat. There's more mealworms. There's some what looks like cockroaches, right? Over here then you have a mountain of grasshoppers, mealworms, more mealworms with some crustaceans, maggots, literally, maggots to want your children to eat there now as well. So this is what they're talking about now. Now look at this, a moth. You can have a moth there, look, with some sauce put over it, maybe some Hellmann's real mayonnaise. You can dip your bugs there into a couple of different types of sauces. I can only imagine the children trying to eat this crack, alright? Grasshoppers and more grasshoppers and more crap. And here they are there, they're in their honeycombs there before they even get the hatch out, like witchery bugs or something. So this is the kind of crack they're trying to force feed the children with. Literally maggots now, that's maggots you're looking at there, like. It's hard enough to get your children to eat vegetables besides eating maggots. But of course, don't worry, because there's a lot more to come. There's a ball of crickets now on top of some celery. Of course, then you could have there, look, some beetles and some chocolate biscuits. That's always a special treat for the children. Some deep fried critters, whatever they are, only God knows what kind of critters they are. Let's keep her rolling there now, and you can imagine your child getting up in the morning with a bowl of milk and you saying, yeah, what's for breakfast? And they saying, there, that's for breakfast there. Them big disgusting looking widgery bugs or whatever they are, you can have them for breakfast. And you can have them on pizzas, you can have them on skewers. This is the way now to keep down the food shortage, right? There's more maggots or mealworms. There's a grasshopper or something getting it. And there's a grasshopper on the bun. Now God knows what the bun is made of. So more mealworms. There's some lovely burgers there now as well. Look, bug burgers they call them, bug burgers. I'm sure the children will look forward to eating that kind of crack. Watch my man here now, he's really enjoying that there now, look. He's really enjoying a deep fried spider. So we'll just keep moseying along here. Unfortunately now, Roisin is not with me, so I'm trying to do this myself. But look, not all is failed, not all is failed. You can have some lovely deep fried spider in batter. That's right, anyone for a bit of deep spider, you can imagine throwing that up in front of your children and saying, here, eat that. What about them looking critters, whatever the fuck they are? So this is just some of the crap that they want your children to eat. Now, like as I said, it's hard enough to get your children to eat a bit of broccoli. So the story is going to be, do you want broccoli or would you like worms or maggots or crickets for your dinner in a burger? And this is what they're coming out with now. You see, this is the way they push it, you know. They're trying to get people to eat what's known in the Bible as unclean food, right? Unclean food. There are certain things, if you pick up your Bible, you are not supposed to eat. Matter of fact, you're not supposed to eat any fish out of the ocean. If they don't have scales, gills and fins, you are not to eat them. Crabs, mussels, lobsters, they're all filter feeders to clean the ocean, and if you keep taking them out in their billions, well, you get a lot of dead zones where nothing lives, only jellyfish. And that's why there's 14 dead zones around Ireland, and we have the Puerto Rican man of war jellyfish here, and we have the lines man. So this is what you want your children to eat. Like, I'm not joking with you. There's videos there, look at him on chocolate, look, a little bit of chocolate on top, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can put in between a bit of dough. Now there's videos there, right lads, go online and look for it, and there's a fella inside in the school trying to get the children to eat the bugs. And you want to see the faces on the children as they're trying to eat this crap. They're just like, no sorry. So Aldi now are bringing out a range of stuff there, like, you know. I see you're going to go into there, we'll skip your cookies, out your cookies now, fuck them now and their cookies. But insect burgers and insect crustaceans mixed in with a load of more crap. The same with that vegan food. When you go in, you say, oh, I'll buy a vegan burger, it tastes like a burger. But the amount of crap that they have to add to that to make it taste like a burger, you might as well just eat the fucking burger. Rush hour here, lads. I said, there you go now, look, the cows will be eating better, lads. The cows will be eating better than the children. At least the cows ate grass. As well the children will be told, they ate the bugs. Get the bugs into there, lads, when you're ready. And fine healthy cattle, lads, and I'm messing with you. Do you imagine that? Who'd ever have thought that the cows will be eating better than the humans? They'll be getting nice, clean, good grass. Yeah, you can see you can have some lovely ants for dinner. Maybe you can throw a few bits of cucumber in around that, what looks like looks like a cockroach. I mean, the most disgusting creatures. They're trying to turn us into animals. Out now, animals. Like, look at them cockroaches. The sign, just looking at them would disgust you. So this is the crack now, like, this is what they're trying to pump out in the schools around the world, and they'll push it in on top of your children. The only thing is, I can't see children eating them. But the way they look at it is, we'll make the food so soft for you, you'll have no problem eating the bugs. But as I said, it's not all downhill. You can go out there now and lift up a couple of rocks, bit of wood, root around the bins for some spiders, a couple of worms, a couple of maggots, a couple of crickets. There's loads of food to forage on there now when you look at it that way, and they have the cheek to tell you then they're full of nutrients, alright, full of nutrients. So, I mean, for God's sake, anyone with a bowl of crickets with a glass of milk in the morning, my children barely eat cereal. They're very picky about what they eat, but I must admit now my children do eat a lot of vegetables and spuds because that's what they've grown up on. My children wouldn't know what it's like to get a takeaway. It's not because I'm greedy, it's because all them takeaway foods are just the cheapest amount of crap thrown into them. So this is what the European Union is doing. It's pushing this out now for your children. But as I said, you'll get videos there online. I'll try and find them if I have the time, where they're trying to force the children to eat this crap, and the children are like, no way. You see them trying to eat them and they're being disgusted. I mean, look at that, lads. For God's sake, like, for years now they told you don't dream eating that crap. Now they're trying to tell you, oh, it's full of nourishment and goodness. Crustaceans, like crustaceans. And like bugs, they live on everything and anything. I mean, bugs will eat any kind of crap that comes their way. They're not all like eating vegetables. But there's a couple of shrimp there now, a couple of prawns, and before, I mean, I suppose they're not so bad, even though you shouldn't eat them either. They're filter fish, they clean the ocean, and if you keep taking out all the crabs and the shrimp and the mussels and the lobsters, which you take out, and there are billions of tons every year, it's a wonder the ocean then becomes dirty, stagnated, and you get a load of dead zones. But not to worry lads. There's a little setup there now from Valley. This is one of the Valley's little setups there now. Over there now, sorry Roisin is not with me. But what do they call it there? I'm thinking I zoom in and get a better look if we don't bring up the old pop-ups. Look, Ali consider selling edible insects, but they're not going to go in there to their cookies now, so I'll have to skip on over to that. So I can see them flying off the shelves in Aldi anyway. They'll definitely be flying off the shelves in Aldi. Back to here. Look at this, like, I mean to say animals are trying to turn us into, lads. Oh no, animals. Whatever happened to a bit of steak, bit of corn in the cob, a bit of decent food, you know what I mean? No, this is the crap. It's just laughable stuff, like. There's two chances of children or anyone eating that shit. Here, look, have a bowl of them there in the morning, and you're biting into them and they're bursting all over your mouth and disgusting. Go on your back, lift up a few rocks, a few cement blocks, but again, as I said, the only downside of this now, there's loads of food to forage there out in your back, in amongst the bins, under the rocks, under the bushes, in around the logs and the trees. You can get worms, crickets, insects, beetles, bugs, spiders, widgery bugs, you can get it all going down. There it is there, bug grub. They used to feed that to the animals. You went into the pet shop, now that's what they fed the animals, but now they want you to eat you scorpions and they want you to eat every fucking thing going. And if that's not called dragging humanity down to the... Well, watch my man. First my man thinking of his lovely bit of grub. So keep an eye out on what they're selling your children or what they're going to try and sell ye. So that's the crack, lads. Know the truth, like. That's what they're doing, and they're doing it in schools around Europe, trying to force people into shoving that into your fucking mouth. And call that grubs up there now, lads. Grubs up. No more nice food, no more proper dinners. Oh, the shortage is on, get your insect burgers. And I said there's more crap in them than anything else. So that's just a little gist of what's going on. That's just a little gist of it there, so... I mean to say, lads, I mean to say, what the fuck are they trying to do to us at all? So that's it, lads, so just keep all that in mind. One of the days you go into the shop and that's what you see. A lot of cockroaches, there'll be no food, this is what they're telling you to eat. Plus they make human meat in petri dishes, they want you to eat human meat and turn you into cannibal as well, like that's more of it. So, bug eating lads, bug eating. Just remember, when you hear the saying, grubs up, boom. Know the cracking, that's coming down the pipeline, mate. No bones about it, they'll sugarcoat it, they'll do everything, but I cannot see because I wouldn't eat none of that shit. And your children most definitely won't eat any of that crap. So right, so with that said, we'll go back up here for a second, lads. Back up here and we'll just say, look, have a few flies. Have a couple of flies, that's right, have a couple of flies while you're at it. I mean, you catch a couple of blue bottles at home there now, like, you know, all of a sudden, the disgusting filthy blue bottle in around your house. Well, no, it's time to start cooking them up. They're dinner now, they're dinner. That's what they are. So look, just go through that there. It takes 2 seconds to Google up what they're trying to sell you. And again, as I said, they're trying to sell you human meat. They grow it in petri dishes. And that's what you'll be getting into. A couple of deep fried spiders and you'll be looking like, my man looks like he's really enjoying that there now. So keep all that in mind. And you can thank the UN outside for that. 2 seas in a country way outside from where we are. Because the downside of this is you won't get no bugs in the winter. You'll have to wait till the Baltic winter is over before the bugs come back out. You might catch a couple of flies around the place as well. Anyone for flies for dinner? So that's the downside of it, that's right. It'll be summertime if you can manage to get through the Baltic freezing cold weather. Now we all know in Ireland, lads, after a day without, all it has to be is freezing cold for 2 days. And one day and your house is freezing with no way to heat it. So you'll be needing onesies, twosies, threesies, foursies, fivesies, as many CCs as you can get your hands on. And blankets, and unfortunately you can't eat them, but they will keep you warm, that's the upside of it. So that's the only downside then, is the winter could last for months. It usually lasts for about 6 months here in Ireland, so I don't know what you're going to do. Just know the crack anyway, lads, know the crack. At least the old food will be back on the scene. The bugs will be back out in about 6 months. That's if you get through the Baltic winter on the way. Without a stitch of heat in the house. Blackouts here, there and everywhere. But don't worry, the powers that be, they'll be living in the lap of luxury. They won't have to worry about nothing what I'm talking about there. What's that simple thing there, boys? Look, with the Ukrainian flags flying. I guarantee you know, we heard on the radio, oh, take down the Ukrainian flag. We were around, put up the Russian flag. He'd whip into the first garage, off with the Ukrainians and up with the Russian flag. Keeping up with the Joneses, my man. 13,000 when he brought into Ireland again today, and half our own people fucking homeless, literally. On the housing list fucking 15 and 20 years, and our boys there. I bet you asked them, could you let them move into the house, what? I want a simple thing, I mean to say. And they're not being racist, but it pisses me off when they put our own people to the back of the fucking queue. Let the Irish, you can eat, let them eat bugs. That's right, let them eat bugs and insects and spiders and crickets and worms and maggots, and we call them mealworms. You can dip them in chocolate, you can dip them in honey, stir fry them, grill them, bake them, boil them, do what you like with them. But get them in cheap, that's what they'll say to the Irish. That's what they are saying to the fucking Irish. 13,000 came in this morning into Ireland. And we haven't got homes to house the Irish. That's what I was on about Michael Collins the other day in one of my videos. They were touching me Hall Martin and all them dossers goes up around Michael Collins there. Commemoration marches and oh, poor Michael Collins and the fallen Irish. Michael Collins and the fallen Irish would have come up out of his grave and said, see ye dossers there in front of me coming up here using my death. It's ye I tried to free Ireland from. Fucking ye fucking parasites, ye. You're destroying our own people. Why? Because they're getting paid for it. They're getting more money here. There's an extra few quid for you now for doing that. My man's hotel above is falling down. Oh, well, we won't be long doing it up for you and putting a load of refugees into it and paying you top dollar. And what about the Irish? Well, what about them? That's what they'll tell our children. That's what they fucking are telling our children and telling us. Let ye eat bugs. I don't know why man is pushing on in the ambulance, not too mess about it. Cows hydroplanning down everything. The cows can have good green grass. They want our children to eat the bugs. 13,000 refugees come into Ireland today, imagine that. And they're saying, will your children eat bugs? But we're bringing in 13,000 refugees. They're here. And they're asking people to put them up. They're all out of hotels from. Will people put them into their houses? I mean to say, like, you know, I'm on the housing list years and they never once tried to help me out. And I have 2 children struggling. I nearly choked on the bugs, boys. That's the thing. I better get used to eating the bugs. I'm after swallowing the tiny midget fly, I think. Right, yeah, that's the crack there anyway, lads. Get the fucking bugs in, Joe. Take in thousands of refugees, and our own people even got places to live in. I know people on the house in years, I'm on it myself years, and you never get a phone call or any updates. You have to go down and say, every few years asking me, any news? Nah, no news, sorry, no news. And refugees getting housed all over the fucking place. And as I said, then they're arguing up to the Michael Collins commemoration marches then, and remembrances, and Micheál Martin and all the rest of the fucking dossers, right, in government. And if Michael Collins got up out of the ground and said, come here, you're putting our own Irish people to the back of the queue and you're asking our children to eat fucking bugs. You're the people that I fought against. You're the people I died against, G, to give Ireland some kind of fucking freedom, and not for our people to be homeless and our children told, eat fucking bugs, let you eat the bugs.